Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this presentation on agricultural professionals' perspectives of the adoption of responsible human-centred AI in smart agriculture, comparative study of the UK and Malta. I'm a PhD candidate studying at the Northampton University in the UK, and I'm interested in this topic because I feel that I've been keeping up with the news, and that if no support is given to farmers, they'll sell up, there won't be any farmland, and there won't be any farmers, and as such, no food. My project is to find out what agricultural professionals are aware of technology and to help them with the awareness of technology in their agricultural practice. I'm showing you a short clip of an example of AI in farming to highlight the way AI can be used to improve farmers' practices and increasing their yield. This whole clip is 9 minutes long, but I'm going to show you 30 seconds of it.
So did you change the pump?
The pump's new, yeah. Burned out. Completely burned out. It was hot.
Daniel Alameda is a third-generation farmer in the Salinas Valley, where he grows thousands of acres worth of broccoli, cabbage and lettuce, among other things. Like with any farmer, the scourge of his operation is weeds. And about a year ago, Alameda turned to a cutting-edge solution, an AI-powered weeder. The device, which attaches to the back of his existing tractors, uses high-resolution cameras and sensors to automatically detect unwelcome plants and spray them with a precise dot of herbicide.
Terms. The definitions provided an explanation of the topic terms that I've found whilst reading the literature. They help set a foundation into different areas that are within the scope of my research, which allow me to refine my research and explore it in more depth. Agriculture is referring to computer systems conducting complicated tasks usually conducted by people, such as reasoning and decision making, NASA 24. Agriculture is to produce mainly food, which is suitable for use or manufacture within another key industry, Savos 2018. Industry 4.0 are strategic digital initiatives combining new and emerging digital technologies, allowing for industry digitization, such as Internet of Things, Big Data Analytics, Cloud Computing and AI, Javid 2020 et al. 2021. Smart agriculture is the adoption of those technologies just mentioned in agriculture to make way for Agriculture 4.0, also known as smart farming or digital farming, Abasi et al. 2022, Brewster et al. 2017. Responsible AI are a series of principles that look at the design, creation, deployment and use of AI, Stryker 2024, and human-centered AI aims to obtain human control whilst allowing AI to fulfill people's needs and operating transparently, obtaining suitable outcomes as well as meeting privacy, Gaynor 2022. The global state of agriculture and the AI market. The agriculture market, the gross production value is forecasted at 4.95 trillion, and the future market is in 2029 is forecasted at 5.52 trillion. When looking at the AI market, currently in 2025, the AI technologies market was 244 billion and is by 2030 expected to expand to 800 billion. This is important because there needs to be awareness, training and support for agricultural professionals to adopt AI in agriculture. The issue to the problem is to ask agricultural professionals how they feel about adopting AI in agriculture, and the solution would be to provide information and guidance for agricultural professionals. This slide shows the research aims and objectives, and I will explain how they're done in my research. They're done by looking at the awareness, understanding and adoption of AI, responsible AI and human-centered AI. as well as looking for any information on the UK and Maltese agricultural industry, and also looking at the awareness, understanding and adoption of smart agriculture. This slide looks at the contributions to knowledge research aims. The aim of this research will contribute to practice by obtaining thoughts, insights and viewpoints from agricultural professionals. This is key as it provides an insight into current landscapes of UK and Maltese agriculture and highlight any differences in trends, cultural or regional challenges, which are key in exploring the relation between AI in UK and Maltese agriculture. Responsible human-centred AI contributes to practice because it will allow me to explore the relation between the UK and Maltese agriculture professionals and the related factors such as trust, reliability, accountability, which provides me with a unique lens to this research. Contribution to knowledge research objectives. Research objectives 1 and 4 contribute to knowledge on responsible AI in agriculture. This topic is niche and not widely explored, and it provides unique perspectives which needs further exploration in this research. This assists because it allows me to explore different elements of responsible AI, such as transparency, responsibility, accountability, but also the wider agricultural impact. Research Objective 2 contributes to knowledge and practice on responsible human-centred AI in agriculture. There's little application of responsible AI in knowledge and practice, which is important because it allows me to explore it in relation to agriculture, which is still in development. It can also help me to explore how it can be applied in literature and practically, such as policy regulations or solutions. The Research Objective 3 can contribute to practice on readiness and regional challenges in AI-driven agriculture. There's little research in this area, and more so that explores regional challenges and issues. This is important because it allows me to explore how agricultural professionals' perspectives are on AI, which provides me with unique insight into current trend, readiness and regional challenges in AI-driven agriculture. Why UK and Malta a farmer's comparison? The diagram on screen with the red squiggle shows Malta and the UK, and the small tiny square box on the map shows Malta. I've picked these two countries because my family are Maltese, but I'm British and I started to explore these two countries, but also because of their policy regulations. Because the UK is outside the EU, they've got different policy regulations, practice and legislation compared to Malta, which have different ones as they're in the EU. In terms of farmers' side of things, the climate is different in the UK to Malta. It's mainly a mixed weather systems, and the temperature varies, whereas Malta is always consistently hot and dry climate. And when you look at the farmers' side of things, they tend to have a larger farm size in the UK compared to Malta due to the size of, one of the reasons being the size of the countries. How I see responsible and human-centred AI. I see this as a balance between traditional farming practices and modern farming practices, but also the wider impact on agricultural professionals, policymakers. I also feel there needs to be consideration with regards to the ethics. As such, the European Group on Ethics, Science and Technology have 9 key principles stemming from EU Charter, Farrugia et al. 2024. This was then built on by the European Commission to create 4 ethical imperatives: respect for human authority, prevention of harm, fairness and explicability. Sticking to these principles further extends formal legal compliance, Farrugia 2018. These are important because it's key to support how AI improvements, deployment and use allow everybody to thrive in an AI-filled world whilst building a better future and being globally competitive. The European Commission. 2018. Project stages. The diagram explores the project stages, and the first stage of which is looking at the original food concept of food security and climate change in agricultural industry. Did further reading and explored various areas of AI, decided to explore smart agriculture and policy regulators such as the AI Act, and areas of it including trustworthiness, reliability, ethical concerns and barriers to adoption. I then did further reading and decided to settle upon responsible and human-centred AI, and thus settled on this topic. The picture on the screen showcases the different stages that I have taken throughout my literature process to reach the topic that I have reached, that I'm presenting to you today. Literature stratification. I am using the PRISMA framework as a guideline to improve the reporting of systematic reviews. The diagrams are based on the screen, are based off of the PRISMA framework, which are adapted from Charles Gahman and Zhu 2021. Looking at responsible AI research I did, starting with the orange box. I started off with 3,465 articles across 25 different searches. Through screening, inclusion and analysis, narrowed it down to 21. When looking at search on human-centred AI, I started with 91,206 articles across 15 searches. Through screening, inclusion and analysis, narrowed this down to 2 articles. Literature findings. Adoption of AI. Adoption of AI in the agricultural industry is still in development. There is already literature on AI and adoption, but not in combination, and this is further supported by AGRI 2025, who highlights that farmers and staff require training to utilise agricultural tools efficiently, and current educational programmes are not fully equipped to provide training. Hence, without the support, full application of AI may be out of reach for many people. Responsible AI and agriculture highlights a field that's still in development. There is beginning to be literature on responsible AI in various sectors, but there's still a lack of awareness in relation to agriculture. This is supported by the FAO, who highlights a framework to maintain ethical, environmental and social standing whilst enabling innovation, alongside a collective framework to assess responsible, efficient and sustainable use in agriculture. Human-centred AI highlights the field is still expanding and there is limited literature on human-centred AI, even more so in agriculture, supported by European Parliament that highlight a concern about AI in agriculture. Human-centred AI in agriculture is a way to strengthen the robustness and trustworthiness. This can be done by using expert knowledge. Smart agriculture and AI. There is literature on smart agriculture and AI, but not in combination, and these topics have not been considered in this way before. It provides a unique perspective which can have a wider impact, not just on agriculture, but also on policy. Supported by Thomas 2022, who highlights the UK is sleepwalking into a food supply crisis. Government must assist farmers. National Farmers Union. UK-based literature. There is niche topic area and this needs further exploration. So this is supported by DEFRA, who highlights that agriculture provides half the food eaten, employs 500,000 people and is key to the food and drinks industry. And Maltese-based literature. It's also a niche topic area that needs further exploration and is supported by the European Commission. European Commission 2025 highlights the Maltese Common Agricultural Policy improves rural conditions, infrastructure and new technologies and digitisation. Conceptual framework. These are the key concepts that I'll be exploring through the research project when I begin to interview agricultural professionals. IDT and UTAUT theory. The Innovation Diffusion Theory by Rogers 1983 showcases the different stages of adoption of individuals in the stages of adoption, and the Venkatesh et al. Diagram. The UTA-UT theory by Venkatesh et al. Showcases the different factors such as experience, voluntariness of use, age, effort expectancy, and performance expectancy in relation to behavioural intention and behavioural use. Both of these researches are quantitative, and I will be exploring them through a qualitative lens. I've used both of these theories to see how the either stages of adoption and the different factors can be considered when looking at agricultural professionals, and I've used them to make my interview guide. The theoretical framework and the research questions. These show the UTA-UT theory and IDT theory and the different elements from those theories in relation to the main research questions, which are shown in the middle and linked by different coloured arrows. They link the main research questions 1, 2, and 3 towards the academic theories. And when looking again at the UTA-UT, the theoretical framework and the aims and objectives, taking the different elements from the UTA-UT theory and the IDT theory, and I've linked them towards the aims and objectives of the research. Broader outcomes of the research. When I'm looking at identifying agricultural professionals' perspectives on the adoption of AI in UK and Maltese smart agriculture, this can be to raise awareness of technology that agricultural professionals can find and maybe utilise or be aware of, and it can also be used as an educational guide to help with AI adoption. When looking at academics and policymakers' a view of ways to adopt AI in regional and cultural environments, these can be used as comparative analysis to identify cultural differences, trends on the adoption of AI. And when looking at the creation of practice and policy documents and materials for UK and Maltese agriculture, it will help to assist government and development and creation of framework to assist with policy on the adoption of AI in UK and Maltese agriculture. Thank you for taking your time to listen to this presentation.